Well, as Jonah was saying, the African delegation is going to meet the Russian president in the coming hours. Speaking at a forum in Saint Petersburg on Friday, Vladimir Putin warned of a wider escalation.
If Western supplies of F-16 fighter jets are located at air bases outside Ukraine and used in hostilities, we will have to look at how we can hit and where we can hit those weapons that are used in hostilities against us. This is a serious danger of NATO getting further drawn into this armed conflict.
Well, Al Jazeera's Ali Hashem is in Moscow. He's joining us live. Ali, as Jonah was explaining, not a lot of enthusiasm or encouragement from President Vladimir Zelensky for the African delegation. Any idea what's likely to happen when they meet President Putin later on?
Relations between President Putin's Russia and Africa has been on its best in the past few years. And this is, of course, it's going to reflect on this meeting that's also preceding an African-Russian summit next month in Saint Petersburg itself. So the meeting is going to be today, maybe in the coming hours, and the African delegation is going to present President Putin with its initiative for a solution in Ukraine. And as Jonah said, there are several points in this initiative that leads to a kind of de-escalation as a beginning, and later on talks and negotiations to end this war. However, this move by the African leaders also emphasizes a new role for Africa in such a global crisis, whereas they are presenting this initiative in order to end this war that's kind of turning into a very big and a global crisis that's affecting almost all the continents. So President Putin will listen to whatever the African leaders are to offer here in St. Petersburg. We are in Moscow, but the meeting is going to be in St. Petersburg. And it's expected that he is going to react to this with just the same speeches and the same rhetoric that he's been repeating over the past few months. There are kind of analyses that are kind of reluctant to put a lot of hopes on the African initiatives.
Ali, we mentioned that Vladimir Putin had been talking at this economic forum. Now, obviously, he was talking a great deal about the Russian economy, but he was talking a little bit about the Ukraine war as well. What's he been saying?
Well, mainly on the Ukraine war, he emphasized the position of his forces in this special operation, as he calls it, saying that the Ukrainians are losing 10 soldiers for every one Russian soldier, and that Ukraine is depleting its domestic-produced weapons for the favor of Western-produced weapons, and this is going to have a great impact on Ukraine in the next phase of this special operation, as the Russians call it. Also, he highlighted the issue of the use of nuclear weapons, and that the more NATO is involved in this war, the more weapons are being delivered and supplied to the Ukrainian side, the more there is a possibility of that this special operation could end up as a global war or a world war, as he said.
Ali, thank you very much indeed. That's Ali Hashem talking to us from Moscow.